Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Low Carb in the Leaves with me, Dr. Mary Barson. This week, I'm talking about our circle of control, which is us. What we do, what we say, what we think, what we eat, what we drink. These are all the things which are within our circle of control. And the more we exercise our circle of control, the bigger and more powerful it becomes. Morning, Jane. Yesterday I talked about the fear of missing out. Hi, Jimmy. And how fear of missing out can be such a powerful force. And yet we still have the power to control our mind, or not control, to manage our mind with the fear of missing out. And today I'd like to talk about the stories in our head, and specifically about comfort eating, and how comfort eating comes within our circle of control, and how we can start to chip away at our comfort eating problems kindly and gently. So I'm going to tell you a story about me. So a few years ago, when my daughter was a baby and I was working long hours and studying for my GP exams, I was in the throes of a pretty violent sugar addiction. I was using food as a soother, really, not so much as a reward, but I would use food to soothe my stress because I had a lot on, baby, job, exams, heaps of stuff. And I was definitely a card-carrying sugar addict. Oh, good morning from King Island. How exciting. Hello. And I would do a thing. So driving home from work, where I worked in Lawn, it was about a 40-minute drive home. And when I got home, I knew I'd have a lot to do. I would start a little fixation. Where could I buy my ice cream? I need to buy some ice cream on the way home. And I might try and resist. I've said this story before. There are 3 places that I could buy ice cream on the way home from Lawn to my house. The Lawn supermarket, the Aries Inlet supermarket, actually 4. Yeah, the Aries Inlet, the Anglesea service station and the Anglesea supermarket, in that order. And I'd go past Lawn supermarket and I wouldn't buy it, and I'd be like, yes, go me, woohoo, in control. I'd go past Aries Inlet supermarket and I wouldn't pull in buy ice cream, and I'd be like, yes, you've got this, Mary, you can do it. But my anxiety would start to rise. I'd go past the Anglesea service station, and my anxiety was pretty high right now, and then I would pull into the Anglesea supermarket, buy a tub of Ben & Jerry's, take it home, hide it in the freezer. Then once my daughter had gone to bed, I would secretly take out the ice cream and go and sit in the bathroom, because that was the only door that locked, and eat my ice cream in complete shame and isolation. Just get it over and done with quickly, kind of push down the unpleasant emotions that I was using the ice cream to push down, and then hide the ice cream tub down the bottom of the bin, and just feel quite angry, disgusted at myself, feel physically sick, but soothed. The yucky feelings did go away for a little while. And that is what I would do from time to time, and it was incredibly destructive to my health and my mental health, but I did it nonetheless. I was comfort eating, kind of mild binge eating, like that is to eat an entire tub of ice cream. Wasn't a huge one, but still, that's got an element of a binge about it. And I was doing it in secret and shame. And, why was I doing this? Why did I feel this lack of control? And how did I get out of it? Well, gently was the answer. Gently. I hated myself for doing this, but hating and berating myself didn't actually make this destructive behaviour go away. What actually helped was just some gentle working on my mind. So thinking about why I was doing this with a bit of kindness and compassion was an absolute revelation to me. The idea that I could think about this kindly was actually what helped me move past it. And that is what I managed to do. And like any behaviour, any habit, there's a reason we do it. And the general sort of habit model is we have a trigger, we have the behaviour, and then we have some kind of reward. So thinking about what was my trigger, what was the behaviour, and what was the reward, and to gently unpack it. Well, the trigger was just stress and overwhelm. I just had so much on that I felt in a mild state of overwhelm all the time. What Dr. Lucy calls rushing woman syndrome. And for all you rushing women out there with lots on your plates and lots of different hats to wear, I'm sure you know what this feels like. For you blokes, I'm sure there's an equivalent rushing bloke syndrome as well. But as I live life as a woman with rushing woman syndrome, that is the one for which I have the most inside information. So the trigger was just overwhelmed, but also wanting a break. I wanted a moment of respite and break from just the everything that I had to do, from being the mum of a baby to work to study. I just wanted a moment to myself. And sitting sneakily in the bathroom, having this ice cream, it kind of felt like it was a little bit cheeky, it was a bit illicit, and it was a bit of time for myself, and it was a bit of a thrill. It was really nice. And so that's what I was getting. I was getting the soothing effect of like being able to sort of push my emotions away with food, and also a little bit of time to myself. But the problem was, and it was a big problem, that afterwards I felt really crappy about myself. I felt physically unwell, and I was not living life according to my values. Sort of, binging on ice cream a couple of times a week was not in line with me wanting to be healthy and well and heal my metabolism, do all of these things. So I really, really I realised, to find another tool. And I did it gently. So my trigger was overwhelm and wanting time to myself. The behaviour that I had chosen was eating ice cream in secret, and the reward was just a little bit of a break and a bit of a soothe. So I was like, okay, well, what can I do differently? And I started chipping away at this. Cups of tea were a good one. Have a little moment with a cup of tea, put on some music, have a little soothing peppermint tea. That actually worked surprisingly well. Reminding myself why the ice cream was so far out of line with my goals and my values, and why the cup of tea was, really helped. And I didn't get it perfect. I still stumbled along the way, but I did manage to stop. And I haven't done this. This behaviour I've been free from this behaviour for years and years. It's kind of like this weird distant memory now. And now I can walk past freezers with tubs of ice cream in them and not even really think about it, whereas I used to be zeroed in on all the ice cream that was within this entire shire previously. And so taking some time to analyse the story in my head that was within my circle of control. I could take some time with kindness to just try and understand why I was doing this destructive behaviour. Really helped me come up with a different behaviour, a different tool. The ice cream was a tool to help me cope with what was going on in my life. It wasn't a very healthy tool, and it was harming me. It was sort of harming my body and indeed harming my brain as well. But it was just a tool. It wasn't in itself good or evil. It was just a tool that I was using to get through the day. And with kindness and patience, I was able to find another tool. And over time, things changed as well. Working on my mind in similar ways, in similar situations, means that I didn't actually really need something to stuff my emotions away. I found just slowly an evolution over time, more and more healthy ways to deal with the icky emotions and the stress in my life. So just gently challenging and questioning the stories in our head, the stories that we need to eat the ice cream, the stories that we have to have Tim Tams in the house for our teenage children, the stories that it's impossible to not eat sandwiches, or whatever the stories are in our head. It is within our circle of control to gently challenge them, analyse them, and see if we can come up with an alternative story, practice it, and see how we go. All right, everybody. Lovely chatting to you all. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.